What is up, Brynway Geo channel? Mr. Joseph Statsky.
Oh, no. Okay. Are we still going, by the way? My name's Andrew, and I'm at 0 drinks so far.
What do you think your record's gonna be?
O2 job.
I hate my life. It is terrible. I have no idea what I'm doing. And honestly, I think I'm gonna go like 04.
Well, yeah, so I'm playing, the new Snake-Eye deck. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm probably actually going 04. What do you think your record's gonna be?
Oh, it's gonna be terrible, and then I'm gonna go find the nearest brothel. Okay, we gotta cut that part out.
Now that they took Baron and Savage and all that stuff away, how do you plan to play into this meta?
18 hand traps.
On our way to the Bainbridge Regional, really excited, really hyped. I decided that I really don't want to lose anymore. I'm tired of this Tier 0 format. The ban list was no help whatsoever. So we decided to buy Snake-Eyes. Probably not a great decision. Not a bad decision, but not a great one. I'm playing the Cash variant. I think it's really cool against, you know, you normal summon Ash and they Veiler you and you're like, oh, that's sick. That's awesome. Cool. Rip your extra deck apart. Birth is a broken card, so we try to keep that up. You know, it's just fun. It's cool. I think it's really strong. We're not playing any synchros or anything like that, so none of that like hand rip shenanigans. Just pure, unadulterated interaction, baby. Let's go. That's it. That's all. I don't think I'm gonna do well because I picked up the deck like, I don't know, 3-4 days ago, 5 days ago, something like dumb. Like it was when I got back from Raleigh, so yeah, like 4 days ago. I've been practicing online for the past 3 days. I know, actually, I don't know any basic combos. I can't believe we did it. I can't believe we did it. We actually did it. We won a regional. Let's go. Oh my God, I'm so pumped. And then Adam behind the camera got second place. That is unreal. Unreal. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I have so many shout outs. We're gonna be doing like almost like a deck profile. I wish I could show you guys some gameplay. I am on cloud 9 right now. And then shout out, also in our car, Joseph Statsky getting 8th place. Andrew Renfrew not getting 9th. He broke the curse. He got 12th instead.
What? I'd rather get.
Oh man, I'm so excited. All right, give me that camera. Give me that camera. Yes, sir.
So you know what it is? You know what it is? The boy got second place at the Bainbridge Regional. Brynway Geo first and second place. That's how we do it.
All right, we're back with the adventure. Adam, the cameraman, and I, the guy, I don't know, but it's like middle of the night. We're in the middle of nowhere, Florida.
It's like, what is this like?
It's only 11:30. That's crazy. It feels way later. Anyway, our driver has decided he's got to refuel and just re-sleep here for a minute. So I'll show you guys a little bit, just so you can take a look there. You can see him slumped in the front seat. It's a little tough. It's a little tough. So we're out here. I don't know. It just felt, we're bored. We just need something to do. How many times can you say Bainbridge in a sentence?
Well, you got first place by being lucky and getting a draw.
Amen.
Okay? Hey, Brian got first place or whatever, but your boy is one of the first people in the TCG to get a top with Snake-Eye Dragon.
You're insufferable. My God.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, we're back home. It's the next day. We had kind of a long drive back. So I still can't believe it. First place, second place to Adam, and then 8th place to Joseph Statsky, who was also in the car. Like 3 out of top 8 spots at a regional in one car is just insane. But yeah, let's just jump into the profile. I've got a lot I want to talk about theory-wise, so let's go over some of the standard stuff. I did play 1-for-1. I feel like you should. It's just, you know, let you play. These ratios are all pretty standard. The 2 Dragon, the 1 Oak, 1-1, 2 Poplar, 3 Ash. Like, not really anything crazy there. 3 Bonfire. Is what it is. You want to just play the game, you know what I mean? 3 Diabellstar, 3 wanted. Nothing ridiculous here, right? So I did play Cash Snake-Eye. So we are playing a larger package than what DB Grinder played at YCS Raleigh. So the reason being is I really feel like against Tenpai and some of the other decks that might be emerging out of the new set that just came out, that you really want to have some of these just in case you get shifted or whatever the case is. It just insulates you so much more. It's a lot harder for them to kill you through a unicorn because if you have anything else to stop, like maybe if you have a way to stop the field spell or whatever the case is, and you hit the Trident Dragon with unicorn, it becomes really, really difficult for them to kill you at all. So it just is what it is. I really like the package. It came up a lot today. The 3 field spell. The reason why we did 3 of this and 2 of this and 1 of this is my thought process was Droll is kind of terrible into a lot of decks right now. It doesn't do a whole lot. The best deck, arguably, is like this, and if you consider Chimera real, which a lot of people don't, shout out the guy that got top 8 with Chimera. But yeah, I just think that like Droll's not insane this format. If you're playing Droll and then like I just open up Snake-Eye cards instead, like you just kind of lose. So that's why I decided to go 3 field spell. You just send it for free off Witch. You know, that theory has just kind of been around for a little bit, but want to maximize on that. Speaking of Tenpai for the non-engine, I did play Talents to respect Tenpai. Obviously, this has a lot of other applications when you go first. We're in a hand trap format. Like, there's a lot of other compounding theory, but the thing that pushed it over the top is Tenpai because they only run, it's like, I forget how many 1-card starters they have, but they typically want to open 4 hand traps and then a starter, right? If you rip that starter out of their hand, a lot of times they make their hand really weak. It can dirtle, and that was just kind of the theory when we were testing. And it worked out really well. This card was bonkers all day. And then it kind of helps with side patterns, which I'll show here as well. We played the 3 nib. A lot of people don't play this with the cash stuff. My thought process is like, you know, if I have a basic simplistic Kashtira board, I get both the Unicorn and Fenrir effect off if I like dirtled on turn 1 because I got hand trapped into Oblivion. And if I have a nib in hand, I win the game, right? If I have nib in hand and I have Snake-Eye cards, then I should still be winning the game. The only time in theory if it conflicts is if you bricked on just Kashtira cards and you're going second with a nib in your hand, because then you're like, oh, well, I guess I'm forced to nib and all this other stuff. But the deck's consistent enough to where you can kind of make up that difference. So that's why I decided to play nib. It was really good. I really, really like nib. It didn't conflict that much. You know, it can be a little skill testing at times. And the other non-engine we played was 3 Imperm, 3 Veiler, 3 Ash. I think this is all pretty much solved for the most part. Funnily enough, this card is terrible. Nib is terrible into Tenpai, so easy side out 6, but that was the main deck. Nothing extraordinarily special. We didn't even choose to play any of the new cards, to be honest. My thought process was the deck was already broken going into this format. I'd rather focus on learning the technical play. I had not played, as most of you guys know, I've been experimenting with all kinds of random weird decks, plus like Red Dragon Archfiend has been a lot of like my brew time. So I picked up this deck on like Tuesday to learn it. So yeah, I just didn't have a whole lot of time to like know the baseline and then also theory with like some of the new stuff that came out. But going into the extra deck, we played Dracossack. A lot of people have talked about this already, in case you don't know. If you open Unicorn Diabellstar, you make the Dracossack and you make Appaloosa before you ever commit a normal summon, which is really, really cool. So this came up a lot. This was really good. It also came up against Runic Stun. I played against one round. I was able to just slowly whittle away at his board with the tokens and the self. And then it helped me play around Skill Drain at one point as well, just because I could pop the Skill Drain and then continue to play. Really, really good. Would continue to play it. Fuko was, in case I got shifted against Tenpai specifically. I think against other decks like Flu, it doesn't do a whole lot because they get to like accelerate their engine. A good Tenpai player can still do like this pattern and all this other stuff to like put up more disruptions if there's a Fuko on board. But the idea is like, okay, I just need to set up as much follow-up as possible because we're just in a how many battle phases can I restrict you from in the Tenpai matchup. So Fuko was like okay in testing. I just didn't have like a better theory going in. Tenpai is just like a scary deck in my opinion. I think it needs to be respected, so that's why we played it. We played the Goddess, the Access, the Zelantis, the Appaloosa, Phoenix. Obviously these are the OTK. Obviously we play this. I decided to play Access Code because I'm not playing any synchros. I felt like just being able to push for lethal was more important than playing like the Jet Synchron extender, because my theory was the extra bodies come from my Kashtira monsters. And Goddess was insane. It helped me play around tactics. The theory was in the mirror. They normal summon Snake-Eye Ash when you have Appaloosa. You Appaloosa negate. And then if they go tactics, you go IP, make the Underworld Goddess. And then if they go into an Oak at some point, either with OSS or 1-for-1, then you can negate the Oak. Or if they go like discard Flambird or something, you can negate that. So because the negating the special summon from Graveyard did come up, it was really, really good. Because like back in with hand traps, you can kind of like bottleneck them. So that came up a lot. It was really good. Really, really liked it. Princess Celine for Access app if you open Weird, and then Promethean Princess because, I mean, it's a good card. Don't really have to talk about that. IPSP, don't really have to talk about that. Charmers, don't really have to talk about that. I ended Phoenix on like a lot of my board. If I lightly got interrupted or never got interrupted, I ended with Phoenix on my board pointing towards an Appaloosa, and then I would summon the SP pointing to the other zone just so that way like they couldn't walk over anything. It was really good. And then Anima because Shoutout and Karibo dying, but them not hitting the Snake-Eye engine for some reason. Side deck, we played 3 Cosmic. I needed something to respect just, you know, stun or whatever the case is. I did run into stun at one point. It just was what it was. It was kind of a rough matchup. I also played Crow. Crow was for Tenpai, stun, technically Lab. I actually think Lab is pretty strong right now. I think it's a great meta pick if you play it well. I think that's the hard part is playing it well. Shout out my round 2 opponent, who was my only draw for the day. He played the deck super well to the point of where game 3 we're going into time and I just couldn't push for lethal fast enough. So I just had to like rush battle phase, and then he had the Daruma. So I do want to talk about this next part because I think this part's kind of weird. Against the mirror, I was citing in Change of Heart Minecons and then 2 Thrust. My thought process here was I'm just going to steal their Appaloosa. I'm just going to try to like get as many interactions off the board as possible. And if you take their monsters, you take like their Flambirds or whatever, you can kind of like force a lot of stuff. You can like put their Princess in the spell trap card zone and like all this other stuff before even playing. And then it kind of comes down to like what hand traps they have. But if you steal an Appaloosa, you just kind of win the game. So I did this, and it was really, really good. I would definitely play this again. I think Thrust is insane too, because going into some other theory that we had, against Tenpai, they're going to tell you to go first, right? So you need as many going first cards as possible without clogging up your side deck. And they're going to be on hand traps because realistically, they can't just rely on breakers. Because if they just rely on breakers, they can't always stick their field spell, which is what they want to do. So we played the Thrust act as an extra 2. We played Daruma Cannon, which goes in against the mirror, but also goes in against Tenpai because this card's insane. We played D-Barrier. This is for Tenpai and some other matchups to respect, like Branded. And then we always put an anti-spell if we were going first. So the idea was we're playing 5 going first cards. These are tutorable through Thrust because they're hand trapping you. And then you don't have to like waste the extra deck space of 5 going first cards because these also serve with the Minecon package. So I love the theory. I loved it. My only wish is that I had more respect for Lab because I think Lab is really good. But yeah, it performed really well. I did not expect to win the event, like let alone get top 8. Like I'm very shocked. I'm very, obviously very happy. It was a smaller regional, but still regional is a regional. Like, yeah, I feel very blessed to have this. And yeah. All right, I almost ended the video. I'm coming back. I'll probably slot this part in. So Brian from the future, whatever. I wanted to go over some shout outs. Huge shout out to Andrew Lubke for lending me some cards so I could actually play the event. I was missing bonfires and a witch. He came through. Shout out to Adam behind the camera for always being there with the events and the coverage. Shout out to Andrew Renfro for driving us to the event. Shout out to everybody in Jacksonville. Shout out for Joseph Stasky. Shout out to Jeremy Mitchell for, you know, previous Nats winner, always kind of believing in me, talking me up. And shout out to just everybody supporting me. Shout out to you guys for always watching these videos. It's awesome to be able to be part of the community. We had a couple people at the event kind of walk up and, you know, say, hey, we love the content. So I always love to see that. Always happy to talk to anybody. Love meeting new people. So yeah, shout out to you guys. Shout out to everybody in Jax. Shout out to the whole Brand YGO crew, especially Erica as well, the editor. Huge shout out to her. And yeah, now for real, we'll see you guys next time.